What is there to love? What is there to be sad about? Sometimes I ask myself these questions when the night becomes too quiet, when the world feels bigger than my heart can hold. The people in this story aren't quite wonderful enough. Or maybe it's not that they aren't wonderful. Maybe it's that we expect them to stay the same, frozen in the way we first loved them. After they leave, they come back again, yet the people are no longer there. Time reshapes faces. Distance reshapes feelings. Even the words we once held close begin to sound unfamiliar. We greet each other with the same smiles, but something invisible has shifted. The laughter is softer. The pauses are longer. We stand in front of each other as strangers who share old memories. It repeats the patience I once had. I used to believe that waiting was a form of loyalty, that if I stayed still long enough, everything would return to how it was. I waited through seasons of silence. I waited through unanswered messages and half-finished promises. Waiting became a habit, like breathing quietly in the background of my life. This year, the lotus flowers bloom again. They rise from the mud without complaint, untouched by the darkness beneath them. Every year they bloom, as if nothing painful ever happened. I watch them and wonder how something can return so beautifully after surviving so much. But once they bloom, they will also wither. That is the quiet truth of all beautiful things. Nothing stays at its peak forever. The petals fall, the colors fade. And yet, we still wait for the bloom, knowing the ending. Perhaps that is what makes it meaningful, its fragility. I want to live a life that is wonderful alone, not lonely, but whole. A life where my happiness does not depend on who stays or who leaves. A life where I can sit with my own thoughts and not feel empty. I am learning that being alone is not the same as being abandoned. Sometimes it is simply choosing yourself. Some people will always come. They enter like sunlight through a window, unexpected, warm, and bright. They bring laughter into quiet rooms. They remind us that the world is still capable of kindness. Some people will always linger in my heart, even if they are gone, even if we no longer speak. They exist in small details, a song, a scent, a familiar street. Memory is a gentle ghost. It does not ask permission to visit. Suddenly looking back, I see you standing there, not as you are now, but as you were, smiling, hopeful, untouched by all the endings that followed. I realize that sometimes the person I miss most is not you, but the version of myself who stood beside you. In this world, I am slowly changing. The way I love is changing. The way I forgive is changing. I no longer chase what is already walking away. I no longer beg time to reverse itself. Growth is quiet. It does not announce its arrival. You simply notice that what once broke you no longer has the same power. There was a time I feared being forgotten. Now I understand that forgetting is natural. People move forward because they must, and so do I. Carrying everything would be too heavy. The lotus will bloom again next year. The seasons will turn without asking how I feel about it. And I will continue, softer perhaps, but stronger in ways that cannot be seen. It's just that, sometimes in the stillness before sleep, I wonder what might have happened if we had met at a different time, if we had been braver, if we had understood that love is not about holding on tightly, but about allowing change. But life does not wait for perfect timing. It moves like water, forward, always forward.
What is there to love? What is there to be sad about? The people in this story aren't quite wonderful enough. After they leave, they come back again, yet the people are no longer there. It repeats the patience I once had. This year, the lotus flowers bloom again. Once they bloom, they will also wither. I want to live a life that is wonderful.